The one with Mac and Cheese is the 20th episode of the 6th season of Friends. This is directed by Kevin Bright, and as always, there will be spoilers from now as I go through the episode and share some thoughts. The new material I really like, but in general, I don't care for episodes of any TV show that heavily relies on clips, and unfortunately that is the case here. But we do get one montage that I absolutely love. So I will go through things chronologically, usually with Friends. I will talk about each of the key plot points in turn, but we only have one main overarching narrative here, which is very different. It works well enough, but as I said, not a huge fan of things that rely on clips, but nevertheless, it's not too bad. Starts off with Phoebe reading lines with Joey. He's going up for a part in a show called Mac and Cheese. If he gets it, he will be the lead. It will be a really great opportunity for him. And he's doubting his abilities, and the others support him and they tell him that he's a good actor. And then we get a montage of Joey doing different performances. And I have to say, the clip selection is very good. Joey is then down at Central Park with Ross and Chandler, and he's talking about how the audition went really well, but there's a lot of pressure and they wouldn't understand because they don't have pressure like that in their jobs. And then we get a clip selection of, well, the rest of the cast having pressure in their jobs. Don't really care for it, but I will admit the clip selection is very good. And I do like watching Ross's sandwich. I do love that particular clip. And then things take a different direction. Chandler is in the apartment, in Joey's apartment, with the chick and the duck, and there's a phone call for Joey saying that the audition has been moved up, so it's earlier. And Chandler is about to write this message on the board so that Joey knows the audition is earlier. Monica comes in and Chandler forgets to finish the message. And Joey finds out about this. He's missed the audition. He's missed his big chance. This is a huge problem. And Chandler says, everybody's allowed one mistake. And then we get a clip of Chandler, mostly Chandler, making mistakes. Again, I don't really care for it. It's just filling time. And yeah, the clip selection is fine, but it doesn't really entertain me that much. Chandler is then with Monica and Rachel. We're really breezing through this episode because we're probably over halfway through at this point. There's not a lot of new material. But he's asking Monica and Rachel if Joey will ever forgive him. And Rachel says, you fight, you make up, it's how it goes. And then we get various clips of people fighting and making up, largely focusing on Ross and Rachel with the on a break argument. And again, the clip selection is very good. I think they chose some really great clips. I just don't care for it. And then Chandler takes another call because he won't learn from his mistake. And the allergy actor who was in an allergy commercial, he got the part because obviously Joey had missed the audition. But it turns out that the allergy actor was mauled by a dog. So Joey has another chance. And Chandler writes it on the board. And I love this. I love what Chandler does here. He writes it on the board. And then he goes running around everywhere trying to find Joey, just in case Joey doesn't get home in time to read the board. And he finds Joey eventually, and it's an uncomfortable exchange because I don't like seeing either of them being upset. Joey pretends he didn't get the message in time, but he did, and he got the part. And then Chandler pretends to be upset, but he's not upset, he's just thrilled for Joey. And then Joey pretends to be upset, and they both realise they could do this all day, and they're just really happy. And this is the bit where I think the clip selection works really well for this episode, because they hug. Chandler congratulates Joey with a hug, and then we get a montage of Chandler and Joey hugging. And it's so beautiful and really emotional. And I kind of feel like, and I could be wrong about this, but I feel like they wanted to do that. They wanted that montage of them hugging. So they decided, so it doesn't feel random and forced to just have this random montage, they had to put other ones in the episode as well. And I could be wrong. Maybe that's not what happened. But I feel like it's almost worth it, even though I don't care for clip episodes, worth it to get to that montage of Chandler and Joey hugging because it's just absolutely beautiful. And then the final scene is initially Phoebe and Joey reading lines, and then Ross pops up and he's reading and he's having a lot of fun as well. And it's a really fun, delightful way to end the episode. So in general, it's not bad. The one with Mac and Cheese is still a good episode, and I always have to remind myself that when this aired in 2000, we didn't have on-demand access to episodes the way we do now. I was In fact, I hadn't. I was going to say I was still collecting the VHSs at this point, but I hadn't even started collecting the VHSs. It would be another 2-3 years before I started that. But the point there is that, fair enough, at the time, people wouldn't have been watching these clips again and again and again. So chances are they wouldn't have seen those clips for quite some time. But that doesn't make me enjoy it anymore. So I'm not a huge fan of those particular moments. But the new material, the new scenes, I absolutely love them. The one with mac and cheese, all things considered, is still a pretty strong episode of Friends.